Welcome to the Digital Revolution. I'm Jim Kunkle. The digital revolution has changed post-pandemic and will continue to accelerate revolutionary business technology changes across every industry. Since the pandemic lockdowns forced businesses to change the way in which they communicated and interacted with customers, the old practice of bombarding passive customers with one-way marketing is no longer acceptable. Now that customers have stepped up to be active in the conversation with brands and businesses. Today's customers want to be part of the brand. They want a voice, and the internet provides customers the opportunity and the power to influence brands. Before we get into this episode, let me explain how you can support the Digital Revolution with Jim Kunkle podcast and other content featured on the Digital Revolution channel on YouTube. CoffeeBrandCoffee.com offers top quality coffee and tea from the best global sustainable growers. With every purchase using the special website link provided in the description section of this podcast, you'll be supporting this podcast and YouTube channel. So please use the special website link listed with this broadcast. And now back to the episode. The Digital Revolution with Jim Kunkle aims to provide insight for business professionals into the revolutionary changes and impact of digital media on businesses in a logical sequence. I'll take you through a step-by-step approach that addresses key issues in the implementation of online strategies and tactics. Before considering how you and your business can benefit from digital technology, it's important to understand the environment in which digital technology developed from. It's also important to know the history of the technology and the habits of the people who use digital technologies. While it's not vital to fully understand the technology behind digital applications, exploring the background of the digital environment will help appreciate the revolution that it has driven. Let me start off by defining the term digital. The term digital describes information that is stored and transmitted in terms of discrete numbers. The distinct seconds and minutes of a digital clock as opposed to the sweeping hands of an analog device. Digital technology is now used in all traditional media, but is most associated with computing and the internet. The history of the internet has been built by millions from around the globe. Originally conceived by military scientists who feared the effects of a nuclear attack on conventional analog communication systems, American leaders during the Cold War instigated the Advanced Research Projects Agency Network Project, a system of computers that would eventually become the internet. Academics such as Englishman Tim Berners-Lee, known as the father of the internet, contributed to its development, and the commercial use of the internet began in 1993 with the launch of the first web browser, Mosaic. Forward-thinking business leaders recognized the potential of this new medium, and its popularity grew. The dot-com boom at the turn of the 21st century was swiftly followed by the dot-bomb bust as ill-thought-out digital enterprises rose and fell. But this did not stop the internet from becoming an integral part of society, businesses, and the government. Now let's evaluate the future as improving technology allows the transmission of ever more complex data. Bandwidth, which is the amount of data that can be carried by an internet connection, is constantly increasing, but video and online gaming require much greater resources than simple text and images, and the system is in danger of overloading. Net neutrality in the past decade became an important issue as many see the internet developing into a two-tier system with faster downloading sites costing extra money to host, giving big businesses the best access. Although those within the growing digital industry had predicted its coming, for the majority of the people, the digital revolution happened comparatively overnight. Where other media like radio and television took decades to develop and generations to become more accepted, the internet came from nowhere to become an important part of our business and personal lives in just less than a generation. In the hype that surrounded the internet in its first decade of life, it is often forgotten that it is primarily a medium that helps people communicate rather than a panacea for all business and social challenges. It is how it is used that makes it effective, efficient, and useful. As a means of carrying a message, personal or commercial, it is faster, more accessible, and more interactive than any other medium. Most importantly, it allows people to communicate with other like-minded individuals or groups around the world. Never before could one person post a message that could be read by anyone, anywhere, or everyone, everywhere. As a means for exchanging information, the internet cannot be rivaled. Recognize this and use it to communicate effectively with your customers. So how are we living with the internet? Apart from its commercial applications, the internet is also used by many as part of their social life. Sites that cater to this are part of what we have dubbed social media. Such sites facilitate chats with friends and acquaintances and discussions on so many different and divergent topics. Additionally, social media provides platforms to distribute knowledge and experiences. Now that the influence of the web on our buying decision is strong, email is the 21st century post office. And social media is the key impactor in the social life of a majority. It is easy to see why most social media users consider the internet vital to their lifestyle. To conclude this first episode, when it comes to the digital revolution, social media, and all aspects of the internet, we need to take the bad with the good. Since no culture is without opportunists, and the digital society has its share of fraudsters and villains, it's caused law-abiding citizens to become ever more concerned about the internet's ability to properly function. With the theft of personal information, data collected by internet providers, and social media platforms who are selling collected data and trends to marketers to greatly benefit their targeted advertising and social media influence, or in many cases, the ease of accessing others' personal information in the public domain, well, all this just mentioned are perceived as threats to individual privacy. And ultimately, these concerns affect consumers' willingness to engage in digital commerce and communications. I appreciate your time and attention to this debut episode of the Digital Revolution. In the next episode, I'll cover how social media and consumers' content is being used in the digital world. Related to digital transformation and or the digital revolution, if you have recommendations on topics or guest interviews, please email me at jim@jimkunkle.com. Again, that email is jim@jimkunkle.com. If you like this episode, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're so inclined, post a comment about this episode's topic, and importantly, share it with someone who might get value out of this episode.